Slope. The concept of slope is first introduced in algebra courses as a measure of steepness of lines in the xy plane. So say I'm going to draw my xy plane, label x-axis, y-axis, and say I have two lines. So you can see this blue line, and then I'm going to draw another line, red line. Now, the blue line has less steepness and the red line has more. So we say that the slope of the red line is going to be higher than the slope of the blue line. Now, slope could also be negative. So if I'm going to draw a line, again in the xy plane, which falls as we move from left to right, this is going to have negative slope. And if a line is horizontal or flat, then the slope of this line is 0 because the steepness is neither positive nor negative. If you're going to walk on this line, you're neither gaining height nor losing height. Now, in the first two lines that I drew, as you move from left to right, you're going to gain height. So you say that these lines have positive slope. Whereas in this, if you move from left to right, your height goes down. So you say it has negative slope. Now, by definition, slope is given by the ratio rise over run. Now, I have introduced two words, rise and run. So let me explain what I mean by that. So again, I'm going to draw my x-axis, y-axis, and if I have a line, then what I need are 2 points. So say point A and point B. So A and B are my 2 points. Now I want to go from A to B, but I'm not going to go along the line. So rather than following the line, what I will be doing is I'll be starting at the first point and I'll be going in the vertical direction. So up and down direction. So I need to go up first and then I'll have to turn right and go in the horizontal direction. So this is what I'm doing. Now the vertical direction that you travel is called the rise and the horizontal direction is called the run. So rise goes up and down. So rise happens in the vertical direction and run is in the horizontal direction. So this quantity, this ratio, rise divided by run, is what's known as slope. Now, if a line is steeper than this, then this ratio will be more. So let's look at some examples. So example 1, I'm going to say I have a line that passes through 2 points. So I'm going to use specific numbers first and then we can derive a general formula. So say this line passes through, let's say this is 2, 3, and then let's say this is 5 and 8. So if it has these two coordinates, if this line has these 2 points, then to find the slope, I need to go from the first point to the second point. And usually I like to travel from the left point to the right point, because that way I can be sure that the run will always be positive. So in this case, I'll be going up first and then I'll be taking a right turn. So to find out the slope of this line, you can see this rise is going to be the difference of 8 and 3, because this point is at a height of 3. The y coordinate of any point will tell me the height above the x-axis. So if the y coordinate here is 3, then this height is 3. And if the y coordinate of this point is 8, then this height is 8. So if I want to know how much this rise is, then I can look at the total height or the height of this and subtract the height of that. So this time I'm going from 3 to 8. So that's a difference of 8 minus 3, which is 5. That's the rise. And to figure out the run, I'm going to look at the difference of the x's. So this distance is 5 because it has x coordinate of 5. So the distance from the y-axis is 5 for this point. And if you subtract this distance, that's the same as this. You're going to get the run. So the x coordinate has gone up from 2 to 5. So that's a difference of 3. So that's 2 to 5 is, if you're going from 2 to 5, then you're going up 3 units. So that slope is 5 over 3. Now let's get the formula in general. So in problems, you're going to be given some points, 2 points, and you'll be asked to find the slope. So if I have 2 points, and I'm going to call first point, point 1, second point, point 2. Now, I don't want to take any specific numbers. So let's say this point has coordinates, and I don't want to use x, y either because there are 2 points. So I need coordinates for both of these. So let me call this as x1, y1, and x2, y2. So then the rise, just like in the previous example, when you look, this was 8 minus 3. So what did I do? I took y2 minus y1. I took the difference of the y coordinates, which is what I'm going to do here. So slope is equal to y2 minus y1, difference of y's, divided by x2 minus x1. So this is the formula for slope when 2 points are given. So rise over run, but how do you find the rise is you take the difference of y's, and to find the run, you take the difference of x's. So that's the formula for slope. Let's do some practice problems. So say if the question says find the slope of the line joining 2 points, -2, 3, and 5, 11. Okay. So this is the question. So to find the slope, I need to take the difference of the y coordinates. So if I'm taking 11 minus 3, because 11 is the later y coordinate, 3 was the first y coordinate. So y2 minus y1, or the rise, it's going from 3 to 11. So that would be a rise of 11 minus 3 divided by 5 minus, now notice the number has its own negative, so we'll put it in parentheses. So regardless of what number you have, the formula has a negative in both numerator and denominator. So I got to subtract. Now 11 minus 3 is 8. 5 minus negative 2 is actually 5 plus 2, because negative times negative is positive. And 5 plus 2 is 7. All right, let's look at one more example. Now the points are 0, 3, and 4, negative 2. To find the slope, again, I will do y2 minus y1. Now this time I'm going from 3 to negative 2. So that will be actually a drop. And it would be reflected in the application of the formula. y2 is negative 2 minus y1 is 3. So I'm taking my y2 and subtracting the y1 divided by x2, which is 4, minus x1 is 0. Now when you simplify, negative 2 minus 3 is like adding two negative numbers. So you're going to get a huge negative answer. So mentally you want to think of adding 2 and 3 and you get 5. So the answer would be negative 5 over 4. Now I'll stop this video by giving you some practice problems. So if you're watching this, try to do these problems. So let's do two problems. The points would be 1, 4 and 5, 10. So I kept the numbers positive, but here I'm going to throw some negative numbers. So negative 1, 3, and 4, negative 11. All right. Yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.